Let's take a trip down memory lane and spill all of the small town tea. I'm your host, KP Parker, and this is Town Gossip.
Howdy, partners. Welcome to Town Gossip. Today, we're going to the Lone Star State, and it is big enough for the both of us. We're going to Texas because we have the very, very, very funny Erik Martini here with us. But first, what do I know about Texas? I actually love Texas. My whole family's from there, San Antonio. Let's go Spurs. And I always have an incredible time there. I mean, it is truly beautiful. Riverwalk, which, by the way, shopping on the water, yep, sign me up. I think it's just so cute. And they dye it green during St. Patrick's Day. It's such a vibe. It's so cute. The little boutiques. I go cuckoo nutty every time I'm there. I'm having a blast. It also, I will say, my experience with San Antonio is, and I think a lot of Texas is like this. I can't speak to that, but I think a lot of Texas is like hospital country. You're seeing a hospital like every 4 buildings is some medical center. It's very true of San Antonio. I don't know if it's all of Texas, but it is just a goofy amount of medical centers. And it goes down to the most minute thing. You're like, oh, there's a medical center for ingrown hairs, and it's 8 buildings in a compound for that one thing. It's wild. It's a really wild place. It reminds me of a hospital experience I had. I don't often go to the hospital. Blessed. Feeling blessed on that. But I did go to the hospital in college because I was student teaching. I was getting my teaching license and I was student teaching with like my class. And I straight up, middle of class, went blind. I'm with a child. And then my vision goes out. And I'm not like fainting or anything, but my vision just goes, just the vision. And I'm like, oh God, I flagged down the blurry image that I can now see of an adult. And I'm like, sorry, I think I have to go. I am losing my vision. And I flagged that person down. They're like, oh my God, yeah, please get out of here. I have truly $4 in my bank account at this time in my life. I have not enough to get an ambulance, I'll tell you that much. Because all I had heard was like, oh yeah, ambulances are $4,000. You'll get bankrupt. And I didn't even have enough money for a cab. So I call my mom and I'm like, hey, I'm going to walk to the hospital. And she's like, what? Just get a cab and we'll figure it out. Like, I'll transfer you money or something, but I'll get to the hospital not walking because you can't see psycho. So I get to the hospital. She drives from Connecticut to meet me at Mass Gen Hospital in Boston. They admit me overnight because they cannot tell what's going on. And they're like, what could this be? And I was like, well, I have to let you know I'm on an SSRI. Yeah, sad girl vibes. Okay. Depression core. That was me. And I was like, I'm on a antidepressant and I am weaning myself off right now. And they're like, no, that's probably not it. Okay. So they MRI me, they CAT scan me, they EKG me, they do every test in the book. My poor mother's health insurance getting charged up the wazoo. They like discharged me 40 hours later or something, 30 hours later. And I was like, damn, I mean, it seems kind of crazy that my vision went out and I'm going home. But okay, you know best. Because they're like, we're stumped. I don't know. Which, by the way, doctors love to fucking be stumped and let you go. Huh? Doesn't seem like they should be allowed to do that. I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm stumped too, and I'm living it. So maybe we could work a little harder. Sorry. I know they work hard. Sorry to all doctors out there. But anyway, I get discharged and I am like, man, that was so weird. Let me Google, symptoms of coming off this SSRI that I'm specifically on. Let me Google symptoms of coming off this SSRI. First result could be blindness. Could go to a temporary blindness. And all the other symptoms I had. And I was like, here's my gripe. If I am going to you before, as a doctor, you say you're stumped, Google faster than me. Google one time a little faster than me and just check if that might be it. Google, do one little search. And that could have really helped my mom save what I'm sure is $20,000 in medical fees. That would be nice. I think Google, don't be afraid to check it out, doctors. And I hope in Texas, Hospital Kingdom, that they are checking it out. And I think everyone should check out Texas. And I think everyone should check out my very, very funny friend. I love him so much. It's Erik Martini. Hi, Erik.
Hi, KP. How are you?
Thank you for being here.
It's literally an honor. And I love to know what you know about Texas.
I know.
I always forget that you have that connection.
I have that connection. I have San Antonio, connection.
Running through your blood.
I've been.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to ask you about Texas specifics that I used to love back in the day. Did you have in your neck of the woods the little Red Hots?
Little Red Hots.
They're like the red nuts that come down from the tree.
Oh.
And then you rub them against the concrete and then they burn people. No?
No, I've never had one of those.
That could be San Antonio's claim to fame. Okay. Wanted to start. It's an interesting little prank.
Okay.
And that was fun growing up.
And it was like coloring the ground? Or what do you mean?
It's like truly a red seed from a tree and it looks bright red.
Oh.
And then you, on the concrete, get the friction going with the seed and then you press it on somebody's skin and you get a little burn.
And it's like a crime.
It's like a crime.
You could get arrested for it.
And we should.
We should. Wow. You did some time.
Yeah, I made impacts there when I would go.
Yeah.
Texas. Okay, wait, how long were you there?
I was there from birth until I left for New York in 2021. So that was 23.
Yeah.
24 years.
So you did college in Texas too?
I did college in Texas too.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, give a shout out.
Austin.
My mom did there too.
Really? Hook 'em horns.
These are the little horns.
It's technically considered one of the only public Ivies.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Whoa. What did you go for?
I went for nothing that was Ivy related at all, really.
Right.
I double majored in theater and film, and I minored in creative writing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Artist to your core.
Unemployable to my core. And it was a great school. I always I miss Austin very fondly.
Yeah. Austin was fun. I went there recently for a bachelor party and
oh really?
We tore it up.
That is a great place to go for bachelor parties.
I had a good time. Like it was like a cute little country cabin and then we went to 6th Street, of course.
Of course, classic.
And goofed around.
You goofed around. Yeah.
I taught my friends. We used to play this game. I don't know if my friends and I invented it, but it's called Nose to Bows. And it is in a crowded bar if you're bored and need something to do.
Which actually can be quite often.
Truly. In Connecticut bars especially, it's like, well, we got to make this interesting.
Nose to bows.
You see how many times you can touch your nose to a stranger's elbow.
Without them knowing?
Mm-hmm. You kind of sneak around and get under there and try and get your nose to their bows because usually they can't feel it.
Y'all were bored as hell.
We were really bored. You can get 14 on a good night.
And your world record was 14?
I think 14 it was my best night. And I brought that to the bachelor party and I will say it wasn't as cutesy when boys are doing it to other boys in Texas. Right. I don't think people liked the vibe.
But it was a bachelor party?
It was a bachelor party.
And what were you doing there?
I'm one of the boys. Okay. I don't know if you know.
Guys, girl.
Guys, girl. I don't like other women.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Me neither, girl.
I don't support them. I don't like them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was a lot of the guys trying to play nose to bows, but they were getting caught. They don't have the grace that you really need for nose to bows.
Yeah. I didn't play nose to bows, but I was storming up and down 6th Street, 4th Street with a fake ID. So sorry to the people of Texas that are mad about that. But I know those streets, they raised me. In college.
Yes. I'm sure there's so many bars. I'm sure you could get far with a fake.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not like you're like, okay, this is it. If this doesn't work, you're like, oh, there's bars aplenty here.
I spent like 2.5 years in college, like using a fake ID, and I only got kicked out of a bar once.
Did they take the ID from you?
No,
when it happened?
They just said, you gotta go. Nice. And I was like, oh, and I was like there with like a whole group of people who were over 21, and it was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life because they also had to leave too, and I was like, oh, then I'm just a 19-year-old who got ruined y'all's night.
Yeah. Maybe we go to Dave & Buster's instead.
Let's go around the corner. They definitely will take this fake ID.
Wow. Oh, they made the whole group
It was like a group of like 18 of us. Ooh. It was crazy. Because I was sort of at the front of the group trying to get in first.
Sure. You said, I know what'll make this.
I said, don't worry, guys. I got us.
So yeah, let's put me, the one that's not right, in the front. And then we'll see how that goes.
No strategy whatsoever. Sure. Just me with a dream.
Yeah. What I like about the bars there too is, you kind of have to, because there's so many, you have to have something that sticks you out, it seems. Some of the bars have a little bit of a like niche. Mm-hmm. And we did go to one, and for better or for worse, it was a silent disco bar. Oh.
Yeah, yes. My favorite thing ever is to remove the headphone and just hear the rustling.
It is really
the rustles
really
of the
well.
clothes.
And like people singing along to just the words they know. So it's just kind of comes in, comes out.
Yeah, it's an orchestra of noise.
Beautiful cacophony. Yeah. And we had a good time there. I like the vibes.
Yes,
I like
Austin.
the vibes. How far is your hometown from Austin?
My hometown from Austin is, on the map, it's technically like 2 hour 45, 3 hours.
Yep.
Reader, I made it in 2 hours sometimes.
Hey.
They had no cops on that road.
You can't arrest him later for that. Yeah. That's something you would have had to catch, and you didn't.
There's a threshold.
And you didn't.
I'm telling you, if I'm listening to Taylor Swift on the highway, I will get home in like extra hour. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't usually usually consider her, speeding music. But
well, Getaway Car from Reputation.
and you're doing that the whole 2 hours.
Honestly, there were times that I did. It was like that, or like honestly, I went through like a Las Culturistas phase.
Yeah.
Something about the way those gay men talk. I'm just speeding.
Pedal to the metal with Bowen. Texas is highway capital of the world.
Highway capital. Yeah, girl, it's running through that state.
It's truly 10-lane highways sometimes. It's shocking if you're not from Texas to see what they're up to. My aunt also, when I do visit, she has like a fear of highways. So we have to take non-highway routes.
In Texas?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I mean, try and do the access roads.
Okay. Like toll roads?
No, what's the one next? Everyone calls this something different. What's
HOV lane?
No, it's like off the highway, but parallel to it.
Oh, feeder.
Great.
The feeder roads.
Yeah. So we try and take those, but she'll add an extra 2 hours to each trip.
That is because you're going through like all the stoplights and everything, and you have to go through all the little towns, which I guess in a way is what a dreamer can do.
And she's medically a dreamer. That's why she can't take the highway.
Not all who wander are lost.
And she's a little lost sometimes. She's got wanderlust, so she can't always be on the road.
I see it within you too, Queen.
That's it. I have generational wanderlust, I guess. Texas highways, you're pumping, you're getting to Austin, but your actual hometown is
the Woodlands, Texas.
The Woodlands, Texas. Beautiful name.
Not Woodlands, the Woodlands.
It's a beautiful little storybook name.
It's really cute. And like all of the neighborhoods have like these poetic street names. And like it's just like this town that's like off the highway in the middle of the forest. Yeah. And it's just like really cool. And
it's a suburb of Houston technically? Or like not really?
Depending on who you ask. Okay. If I'm here in New York and I'm saying like, oh, I'm from Houston. And they're like, oh, where? And I'll say the Woodlands. If I say that to a person from Texas or from Houston, they're going to be like, that's not Houston.
Sure.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of talks of trying to get it into the greater Houston area. Okay. But there's a lot of the city of the Woodlands is trying to not do that because they want to pay they don't want to factor into the city of Houston, like donate their money to that city.
I feel like Texas in general goes really hard about having its own little identity. It being very important. So like the Woodlands is like, we're just not Houston. Yeah. And like Texas itself is like, we're not like other states.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So it's like the Woodlands seceding from the city of Houston.
They stand on 10 toes. Yeah. A lot of times there.
Big 10 toes.
They have huge toes in the Woodlands.
Girl, let's look at the camera.
Let's get the evidence. So it's Houston-ish.
It's Houston-ish.
Houston-ish.
Yeah.
Is it big town, small town?
It's pretty big.
It's big.
Population of like 140,000.
Woodlands is big.
When I was in high school, though, it was probably around like 80, 90.
But so you have multiple high schools then, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We have multiple high schools. I went to the main one.
Okay.
They had to literally, when I was probably in like second or third grade, they had to do a whole rezoning. So like lots of kids got like taken from schools and put into other schools. Not in a bad way. Just like rezoned to new schools. And
some got lost altogether.
Some got lost. All who wander are lost. Reader, it's me. But they made a whole new high school because the main high school in the Woodlands was just getting like way too clogged.
I'm sure that was such drama. You're losing some friends. Yeah, there's the old school.
I was living in the part of town where the like streets. There was like the street that ran right in front of my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. If you were on one side, you went to the main high school. If you were on the other side, you went to the other high school.
On that same street?
Yeah, front lines.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like
Montague Capulet vibes.
Literally, yeah. So I had some like friends that I had like grown up with all throughout like elementary, middle school. That then because of that, like we got zoned away from each other, and I would still see them, but it wasn't like I was going to high school with them.
No, it becomes so much harder when you're not seeing each other in the day because it is 9 hours of your day. Yeah, that's just a full-time job.
To go to school. How early was your high school?
7:15.
Yeah,
we got there at 6:45.
7:15, 6:45. And when did you get out?
Well, I went to an arts high school also. So I was done at 5:30.
Did it finish at a certain time and then you just like went to rehearsals after school or like?
So I would go to my main high school until noon. And then instead of having lunch, I would get on the bus and then classes started at my other high school at 1.
Interesting.
And then went until 5 and then I would take the bus home.
You kind of did a bit of like a Victorious thing, sort of.
I haven't seen.
Performing it.
Maybe she did an E thing. Haven't seen, so I've been doing it for a while. She didn't invent that. I get all.
Oh, right. You hate women. I forgot. My bad.
Who the fuck is Victoria's and does she have a brother? I support him.
It's like performing arts high school vibes.
Okay, yeah. That was me then.
So that was you. There was a
nice.
performing arts high school in Houston that when I would go to like theater competitions, a lot of people would see me perform and they'd be like, do you go to performing arts high school? And I go, no, I'm just that good.
No, I'm all right. I'm all set.
Sorry, queen.
There's not really much they could teach me.
Yeah.
Not really much I would
They
get
didn't
out
want
of
me,
that.
but I didn't really want them.
I'm all set.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you had to audition for it.
Right.
And then that was found to be like not kosher for a public school. Like you can't hold auditions for a public school because then it could lead to discrimination.
That is
so now it's lottery. Yeah.
You feel unlucky?
Yeah, you have to audition anyway, but I don't think it matters. I think
It's just truly lottery.
Because it's lottery, there was one girl that played the harp that got in, so they had to create an entire harp department for her.
Oh my God.
So it was like they had to hire a new harp teacher.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's like, well, what are we going to do with this harp kid?
There had to be some like riggery in the lottery of it all.
I don't know.
Interesting.
People got in trouble. There wasn't riggery for me. I was supposed to be there.
To, like, get lottery. You like just auditioned and were in.
Yeah, in my time it was just audition, so I auditioned, got in. Yeah.
Okay.
I did a monologue from
my God.
that Neil LaBute play Fat Pig.
Oh yeah.
About eating disorders, but like he's not a good guy. He's a horrible guy. And like these plays they don't stand the test of time. I'll say that.
That's kind of like every play that we're sort of studying in high school theater is like, oh, why are we doing this? Now, why is this a classic?
And my monologue was like, I just can't stop eating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, not cute for a 14
Me as fork. Not so true.
Like going back, I'm like, why? That's like not appropriate.
That is so crazy. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you so much. I mean, it was my choice.
Right.
And I should have chosen better. Somebody should have stopped me. Stop that girl.
Someone should have stopped her. Yeah.
In general, somebody stop her.
Yeah.
Please.
But yeah, I went to school until I got out of school at 2:30.
Yeah.
To bring it sort of back to what we were talking about.
That is usually, it was 7:15 to 2:30, which is goofy.
I think about that now and I'm like, I wasn't drinking coffee.
No.
Of course I was falling asleep in class. Of course.
And you want to stay up late because it's like your only free time. So and you are listening to music for the first time and you're like, oh my God, let me stay up late. And so you're just zonked all the time.
Literally. And then don't even get me started when I started doing theater. It was like I was there until like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And it's like, now go do your homework, king.
Yeah.
Girl.
It's way too much. And I hated homework and just kind of wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I never did it.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about this. Yeah.
We did talk about this. My fun fact that every time you're at like an event where it's like, oh, what's your fun fact?
Yeah.
My high school class of 1,000, my class rank 420.
Oh,
isn't that fun?
That's really fun.
I see it and I go, well, I'm actually kind of happy with that.
Blazer.
pretty a little above average and pretty stupid, but still kind of smart.
Memorable little number for you. That's good. I mean, you've got to team up with the person that made 69. And you guys could just have something special
There's an intelligence divide.
Okay. A class of 1,000 is
crazy.
A lot.
There's people, they're calling out names at graduation and it's like, who is that?
Yeah.
Literally.
That is wild because you've probably like been in school with them 12 years, but you're like, we just never saw each other. How could we have?
New face every single day.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
So that's kind of, were you cool? Were you?
So this is the thing. There's the term of popular and then there's just being annoying and making sure everyone knows who you are. And,
infamous.
But people, and I still carried a nice, friendly demeanor. I won most friendly in high school. So
that's kind of huge.
Yeah, I won best actor and most friendly. I was one of the only people to win 2 superlatives.
Yeah. In a class of 1,002, that's crazy.
So yeah, you do with that what you will.
I'm doing something. I'm respecting you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Lots of people did too in high school.
Best actor and most friendly. That's a really good combo.
And I was nominated for best laugh. Clearly, it meant a lot to me in high school.
I mean, it was fun. I really wanted to win one, but I knew.
Were you nominated for any of them?
Funniest.
Yes. I see. That's someone I wanted class clown so bad. Yeah. But there were some freaks that I went to high school with who got class clown. And I was like,
give it to him.
Of course, he deserves it.
The things you're turning this whole thing into sort of jackass. So please take it.
There was some people. I think what was working against me was the being gay of it all. If you were gay, you couldn't be class clown.
It was like, no, we
automatically were put into best actor.
We're gonna put you there. There were some that I was like, I think these are veiled criticisms.
Yeah.
There were some that were like, I was like, I did not want to win that.
Yeah, I felt crazy when we had a best legs category.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
like, we are in high school, y'all.
Don't look at that.
There was a best legs and there was a most beautiful. Like,
yeah, we had most beautiful.
That's crazy.
Best eyes, best smile. Those are normal. That's fine.
Normal.
Loudest, I was like, okay. I mean, you're being crazy with that one.
When I got the nomination for best laugh, I was like, oh, really? I had never really thought about that.
I don't find you guys that funny, so
Yeah.
I don't find.
I'm sort of the brilliant mind of this high school, and none of you are making me laugh. So what's
I'm
going
on the other side of the laughs usually, but all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like happiest to be with at the end of the world. There were some that were like really
interesting.
Which I was like, I'm surely there's a thesaurus for what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
It's a long title. Just be like best all around.
Best all around. Was there like a most likely to be president?
Yeah, which I like. Those were just the.
You liked that one?
Which I really liked.
You were gunning for that one.
No, yeah, I really wanted that one. I didn't do anything for it, but I really wanted it.
Right. Yeah.
No, that one was like, what's the kid that's argumentative and a little Republican singing?
Right. In debate.
Yeah, debate, model UN, wears a blazer sometimes to school, and you're like, are you going somewhere?
Yeah.
Don't let us stop
King,
you.
what's going on?
Head on out if you gotta go.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was well connected in high school. I'll say
Okay,
that.
that's.
Yeah.
I mean, to get two superlatives in a class of two.
Yeah.
Say no more.
One of my best friends, she worked in the yearbook and was like one of the main editors. So I got lots of features in the yearbook in my senior year.
Yeah. I just was going through it and I got featured in Tacky Day. Did you do like this senior spirit week stuff?
Yeah,
you would dress up, but people like wouldn't really dress up very much. People weren't like, I talked about this last up, but it's like people in my school they were scared of looking cool.
Really?
Yeah, like that's at least what I remember, in myself included. But so it would be something like, Decades Day, which is like a pretty easy buy-in.
That's very easy.
Buy-in.
Yeah.
80s. 90s,
zeros,
the aughts,
pilgrims. You can do any of them.
You can do anything. And nobody liked when I was a full caveman, glued hair to my body.
Were you really? Oh, I was like, that's fierce.
I wore just a loincloth and nobody liked it.
I'm like, no wonder you won funniest.
And best legs and best pussy. I won best pussy in 2009, and
biggest
I thought that was
dick for me, girl.
fucking hung like a horse. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't win that. That's so weird.
That's so strange. The competition was stiff.
I don't know. Yeah, we had like Decades Day, and like people would truly barely put a single effort into it.
Single ounce.
Even just like dress in school, colors day. It's just, I remember being like, man, you guys aren't putting any fun into this. And I do remember going
You're there in the lunchroom. Culture is dead.
I have my own little podcast, just me. I do remember learning the lesson though. Freshman year, it was Halloween, and I was like, great, I'm wearing my costume.
Yeah, of course.
And I had my dad's old costume that was kind of like a 6 foot tall wizard. And it was like, your head's not your real head. Your head's poking out of a different area. And then there's like a big bearded man above me. Like it was.
So it was a two-headed.
It was like a 2-headed giant wizard costume. And I was like, this seems good enough for a new school. I'm new to high school, but this seems good enough.
It was a new high school for you?
I mean, I was a freshman. So it was like, I was coming in.
You want to make an impression.
I didn't, but I did anyway. And I wore just a big wizard costume. I said, okay, I'm never ever dressing up
People
again.
weren't turning heads at that?
They were, but
not in a way that was beneficial to you?
Not beneficial to me.
Really?
Not beneficial to me.
That's crazy.
I know. I wish more people were like a little more the weird thing's the fun thing.
Yeah.
Because I think I got a little weird scared out of me.
Interesting.
And I think I could have been weirder.
Did you ever see like the turtle backpacks? Did you ever see those? Okay, so do you know the YouTuber Jenna Marbles?
Yes.
She made popular this thing, the turtle backpacks.
Okay. Oh, you turn them inside out? No.
No, it's like a turtle shell backpack.
Oh, okay.
And my kind of way of empathizing with you in this moment is that I, for like the majority of high school, used one and was known as the kid with the turtle backpack.
Was it a dorky thing to do?
It was kind of dorky looking back. Like I'm saying, like maybe I wasn't cool.
Yeah.
People knew my name.
Yes.
People knew who I was.
You will remember me.
Yeah.
That was such the age of YouTubers being cool though.
Oh.
It's like YouTuber golden years were then.
Exactly.
So it is like, if Jenna Marbles says it's cool, come on.
Come on.
Throw it on. Everyone had a YouTuber they loved.
Jenna Marbles, Tyler Oakley, Grace Helbig, Mamie Hart, Troye Sivan, all of them. All the British people.
Yeah, it's Australian, some of those.
Some of them Australian.
Some of those
South
are
African, some of them too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, early Smosh back in the day was in there too. It was just like there was so many goofy things to watch over on that spot. And it's still, I mean...
And watch, history is repeating itself right now.
It does feel like it's a YouTube renaissance. Yeah. I mean, I'm on my video essay shit lately, getting smart. Long time coming. Been needing to get smart.
I don't ever do video essays, but I have a history of dating a lot of men who love video essays.
I kind of think
what it is about that.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing to get into. It made me feel like I was slowly becoming cooler and smarter. So now I'm doubling it down.
It's very like TED Talk, but it's about something that you want to hear.
Yeah, I will say I like to think I'm getting smarter. Most of them are me watching this one Mormon girl talk about Mormon stuff. So I don't know that it's like, I don't think I should get my degree.
Right, absolutely.
I'm mostly just watching this Mormon girl.
I'm just trying to see like what she has to say about it.
She was like, I don't drink coffee. I said, go on. An hour and 50 minutes of you talking about that? Let me see.
And what else do you do?
What else? Hey, FaceTime me. Okay. The Woodlands.
The Woodlands.
Can you walk us through what's the gossip?
Am I telling my story?
Tell your story.
Fade in on a girl with a hunger for fame in her AP Calc class for last month of her senior year. The girl is me. I was actually... How were you in math? Were you good at math in high school?
Oof, not AP Calc. No, I was remedial.
Really?
I was bad.
Math was my best subject in school.
That is really wild.
I was always like 2 years ahead since like middle school.
Oh my God.
I really peaked in high school, I think. But I was always 2 years ahead. But I would get into the higher up classes and do bad, which is why I sort of had that lower ranking, which is cool. But did you have AP exams?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone has that. Okay, cool. Glad that I have that checked out.
So that was the story?
No, but so faded on me in my class. I didn't take my AP exam. So I kind of course, like every other senior in high school, checked out.
Yes.
I go to the theater room one day during my AP Calc class after I finished an assignment.
Oh, okay. You weren't cutting class. You were just like, you could leave early.
We could argue that I was cutting class.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom.
So that's cutting class. That's sort of exactly.
But it was like, I had finished my assignment. We're all just hanging out. People who are taking the AP exam are studying, or the others are just fiddling their thumbs.
Yeah, it would turn a little free periody at the end of senior year. Yeah, it would be a little like,
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
So I go to the theater room to have lunch with the girls and hang out, queen, talk with my divas. I don't have that much time left because it's my last month of senior year.
We have to make sure we're caught up.
And so I kind of do it through one lunch period into another. So I was gone for, in my head, it was 30 minutes. When I returned back to my class, my teacher, am I allowed to say penis?
Yeah.
Okay, so my teacher's name, his name is not Mr. Penis, but his name sounds very similar to that. So that's why I'm calling him Mr. Penis. But Mr. Penis, he was a bit of a snarky guy. He was encouraging me to do better and apply myself every single day of my life, because he would always be like, Martinez, you're like good at this. You're very good at math and you get really lucky in these tests, but you just don't care. And I'm like, say more, King.
Yes, you've got it right.
Yeah. And so he and I had a bit of a snarky energy with each other. And it was the last month of senior year. I did not give a fork.
Because you weren't taking the test anyway, right? So it's like kind of, so what?
I was not taking the test at
And you
all.
already got into college, so...
I'd already gotten into college.
What
was the point?
What's the point?
So I was gone for, let's say, 30 minutes. Okay. I get back into class. Mr. Penis goes, Martinez, why were you gone for an hour?
Oh, boy.
And I was like... Oh, and the whole class was listening. Everyone because he barked at me across the class. Because we had the snarky energy, because I was in theater, I was on the improv troupe. I was a funny guy. People found me funny.
And you had just diva downed, so you were coming from...
I had the queen energy off the charts. So I was there to queen again.
Yeah.
So I say back to him, I try to sort of give my classmates one last little joke, you know? I say, Mr. Penis, what I do in the bathroom is none of your business.
I mean...
Fell to silence. The silence in the room was deafening.
You thought it was going to be hee-hee.
I thought people would be like, this guy, why did we nominate him for class clown? Nope.
Give him a third superlative. Give him another.
It was silent. And then he goes, what? Cut to him sort of screaming at me for... What we can only describe as 15 minutes in front of the whole class. He's like, don't you dare come in here and disrespect me. I have never in my life been disrespected. He just was going in on me.
Sorry, but you weren't saying anything wrong. What you do in the bathroom is your business.
At the end of the day, I think Mr. Penis did not like gay people.
I was going to say some of this is Texas bathroom stuff that I could be leaking in.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And you are projecting. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I'm trying to make sure I know who's the bad guy right now. It's Mr. Penis.
Hey, gay kids can never be bad in high school, by the way. I was one of the only out ones in high school, and I was fighting for my brothers. He lit into me, and it was awesome. And so then I got sentenced to detention. So next scene, I get sentenced to the vice principal's office. For him, we're going to call him Mr. Flamingo. His name was not Mr. Flamingo, but it sounded very similar to that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm calling him that. He like reads my student, whatever, like who I am. And he goes, Martinez, now why am I just meeting you?
Oh.
And I was like, well, I've been a really nice kid through all this. And I literally was saying to him, I was like, I'm normally not here. This is not my vibe. Like, I'm so sorry.
I don't hang out at this place.
This is not what I do. And he was saying, he was like, well, you have to have a detention for this. And it has to be a Saturday detention.
Saturday?
Yeah. And the only Saturday detention left, the day of senior prom. And I just had to take it. And had to do it, and it was
bad mood vibes.
I know, honestly, I was like, why are we having senior detention or Saturday detention on the day of prom? Like, that's so random to me.
Really weird.
Yeah, but I did it. But the thing is that I was in a big prom group.
Okay.
And like the thing was we would go from the Woodlands, we would do like prom down there, and then we would go to Galveston, rent a beach house, and do beach house like prom weekend.
That was I don't know who started that, but that made it all the way to Connecticut. Did you guys start it?
Everything's bigger in Texas.
We would go to Galveston.
Yeah.
Right after
flights.
We would take a flight.
The airports were crowded.
That's the thing, but we somebody started it and we said we gotta go.
We gotta go to Galveston, Texas.
We have to do beach day there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing about that is that the night before prom, we had our I was in the theater department, we had our improv troupe. It was the final improv show of the year.
A busy week for you.
Busy week, Diva. And the thing is that I was in charge. My friend, give me a random gay guy name.
Ryan,
okay. Ryan's older brother had bought us alcohol for our prom group. It was like cans.
Some nasty.
It was liquor. It was wine. It was a lot.
Just jungle juice.
Yeah, it was jungle juice. But what I had to do was that after the senior improv show, we had to sneak away before we went to Chili's. Everyone went to Chili's.
Yep, us too.
Okay.
We're Chili's families over here.
Chili's family. Yep. But after that, before we could go to Chili's, we had to sneak away because we had to do the alcohol swap. It was in it was in his older brother's car and had to be transferred into mine because I had to hold on to it for a second before all of our prom group could come to my car and like pick it up.
Okay. And that was going to happen the next day?
It was going to happen the next day.
Okay, so you were like, keep it in my car just for this night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we go to a random ass park. The amount of people who weren't involved in this scheme who were texting me being like, where are you? We were in a park at night putting just
post improv glow,
by the way. I performed beautifully.
Yeah.
Everyone was crying. It was awesome. We're putting alcohol into my car. We put literally so much alcohol. I was like, why did a group of 18 teenagers need this?
I mean, that's a large group.
It's a large group, but not everyone was drinking.
Oh, sure.
There was probably only like 9 of us. But anyways, it got transferred into the car. And then we went to Chili's. We had a lovely night. The next day, like literally after we did the transfer, whatever, and I'm driving my friend Ryan home. He's like, oh, so like we'll have everyone come and get the alcohol like from you. Yeah. And so then we can all put it in our bags and they'll be taking the Galveston and we can drink. Yeah. Then I was like, oh God, I have Saturday detention.
And it was supposed to the trades were supposed to happen during the day then? Yeah. And you weren't going to be around.
I was going to be at the high school in Saturday detention. And I had to take the alcohol car to Saturday detention. Yeah. How we ended up doing the transfer is that I went... I had to go to the bathroom during detention. I went out to the parking lot.
Which you got in trouble for going to the bathroom in the first place.
In the very first place.
You haven't learned your lesson.
I have not learned my lesson. I had to queen. I had to queen with everyone. But I had to go to the bathroom, meet my friend Ryan in the parking lot, give him my keys. So then we had to literally do this in shifts. We had to have our prom group come in shifts to come get alcohol from
You're inside looking out the window seeing.
I'm literally like, oh God. And there was no campus security at this time. Usually we had like a fake cop car driving around, but there was none today because I think it was ultimately day of prom. Yeah. No one really cared. Yeah. While I'm in detention, all of these, my whole prom group is coming in, getting the alcohol, putting it in the bags, leaving. And so then finally cut to me being done with detention.
Yeah. How long was it, by the way?
It was like 5 hours.
Ours used to be 4 hours. Yeah. I only got it once, but I was like, get real.
Okay, you only got it once too.
I got it, and I'll say I got it for going to the bathroom and being gone. But I was going to my locker to get my homework, and you weren't supposed to go to. She was like, would you find a paper in the bathroom? And I was like,
oh, you mean like you had left your homework in the thing?
Yeah, and I was just like, I never did my homework, and I actually did it that day. And I was like, can I go to my locker? And she goes, no, you didn't bring your homework. You get an F. And I was like,
I literally had it.
And I was like so incensed because I was like, this is the one day I did my homework. I didn't finish it, obviously, but I did a few questions.
You got a 4 hour Saturday detention for that?
I got a 4 hour Saturday.
Oh my God.
No, it was an after school
Did you like hit her or something?
Yeah.
Like you started fighting?
Yeah. I shoved her in my locker.
I'm like, there's no way that could have.
She was so mean. It was a math teacher. Math teacher detentions?
Math teacher Evan. I'm like, hey, I've always seen a little bit of myself in you.
You really trained me well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So then what happened was that everyone got the alcohol. I finished my senior detention. We go to prom, whatever. Great, awesome, amazing, lovely. Yeah. We go to prom. Then we go to Galveston after. We get to our house.
Oh.
The alcohol is gone.
Wait, out of everyone's bags? Or where did it?
Someone's parents literally went through all of the bags and took the alcohol out because it was a stickler of a parent, and they found
were the bags? They were at this parent's house?
There were parents who were like took all of our bags up. There was like 2 parents that had volunteered, so we knew whose mother did it. Sorry, and it was so crazy.
After spending all of that effort.
Yeah. And then what it ended up happening was we still were able to get 2 handles of tequila, no mixers.
Oof.
So we had to literally we still went crazy.
Yeah.
We had to get crazy off of straight tequila.
Ooh.
And it was bad. It was bad tequila because it was someone's 21-year-old brother buying us the cheapest possible liquor they could get us.
Wait, and did you find out after you had already left to Galveston, or you found out right before?
We found out, you mean that the alcohol was gone? We were inside the beach house. We were looking through our bags. Alcohol gone.
And so somebody's brother was able to deliver it to you, or that he was there also?
There was like one bag that had not gone.
Dusted off.
Literally, it was like one bag was marked safe from the scavenge.
Parent forgot about that, and you couldn't stop off and get a little chaser. It was just nighttime. It was done.
It was done.
Oh.
So there cut to us in Galveston on the porch. It's a little chilly by the ocean in the Texas. A little chilly, and
ripping straight
tequila. No limes.
I mean, I've been drinking now, a decade and a half or something, and I still wouldn't want to do that.
No,
I don't want to do that, especially at 17.
We were 18.
That's legal. That's legal to drink.
When you're 18 and you've never really drank in your life, you'll do anything to experience a high.
Did you get to pregame at least with the bottles, or no? You were saving it all for the...
We were saving it all for the beach house.
That mom is annoying.
It was truly the most... Sorry. When I've been thinking about the past sort of what let alone week, and then the past 24 hours of the whole alcohol transfer, having to get people to come in and out of the high school parking lot to get them.
You risked another detention.
I literally put my life on the line.
Yes.
And for what? To drink straight tequila.
Straight room temp tequila.
And then I guess the way that I'll wrap up this little story is that cut to me at graduation seeing my vice principal who gave me the detention. Mr. Flamingo. And for a second I thought you said his real name. I was like, now how did you get that? I did some research into this. As they're about to call my name, he goes, oh, Martinez. He's like, how was that detention?
Oh my God.
And I literally was like, brother, I felt alive. And then they called my name and I walked and I stepped and I never saw him again.
He said, don't ever fuck with me again, Mr. Flamingo. Don't you ever fuck with me
I'll make your life a living hell.
You're going to know my name.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Did the kid whose mom and dad got the alcohol out feel bad?
No. We didn't really, I never really got to see that parent or anything at all. I think that the kid felt. The kid was like, you guys, I'm so sorry. And we were it was one of those things where I was like, everyone in our group was fine and smart with it. Yeah. We were like, that's okay. You had no idea that would happen. Yeah. We know your parents are sticklers. Yeah. That should have been our first clue. Yeah.
My mom was a stickler.
Oh, really?
But I don't know that she would have done. I mean, she would have. See, what I think is so interesting about the way it went down is to not even give a heads up, to be like, oh, they think they got one over. We're going to take it out. My mom would have been like, I found alcohol in your bag. Get over here.
Yeah.
And then like she would have given me a heads up that she's taking it.
Right, yeah.
But they were like,
Literally, it was
here's
like
the surprise.
the gag of it all.
And it was kind of cool.
It was kind of gaggy.
It's kind of gaggy.
I was like,
it's kind of gaggy.
After all the hard work I had put in, they took it.
They took it.
Yeah.
Dang. Were your parents strict?
They weren't necessarily strict. I had a curfew in high school.
Yeah.
It was one of those things though where the morning of my detention where I had to go to the school with the car of alcohol.
Yeah.
My dad was like, hey, I'm going to take it over to get gas real quick. And I literally had to be like, I have to leave right now. Don't take it.
Dad, don't.
Literally. Because I was like, it was lots of alcohol.
Clinking in the back.
You make a turn and it's just lurching. So I was like, I think if my parents had found that, they would have been like, what the hell?
Also for that sheer amount.
Yeah.
It would have been
was
like,
a crazy amount.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
But my parents were pretty chill.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it's gaggy, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool vibes, but not cool ending. At least you still got to drink a little.
I got to drink a little. It felt, at the end of the day, I did feel a bit like a main character in that it felt like a scene from a movie.
Yeah.
Of all of that.
The amount of steps it took was really
interesting. I was determined to get my group to drink.
It's very super bad. We're going to go through a whole sort of hero's journey to get a little fucked up with my 18 gals.
Yeah, with my girls.
With my girls.
Girls and gay guys.
We got to
It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was fun. The Woodlands is a cute little space.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't do, and I kind of regret this. My prom, like I had my core group of friends, but at that age I was just feeling, and it's because I was kind of dating this guy from another school. I was kind of feeling just over my friends. And they were all going to the beach for a sleepover. And I was like, I'm dating this guy from another school. I don't know. I'm just going to like see how my night goes. But he didn't even want to hang out after. So I kind of just didn't go anywhere after prom. And that was on me. I was being a little bit of an elitist.
He goes to another school, you wouldn't know him.
You know, and he was there.
Oh.
He was there.
He was there. People knew him.
No, I saw him. There's a picture somewhere.
Girl.
Yeah. So I kind of just like was feeling like, no, I don't need to hang out with my core group of friends. I'm like doing different stuff these days. And then just didn't really
Very forgotten about. Very 16
And he didn't invite me to his prom. He invited somebody else to his prom.
Oh my God. And this was your boyfriend?
Kind of. Yeah, it was like we never labeled it. It was like a few months of dating, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Y'all kiss?
We kiss.
Okay.
We kiss.
But you never labeled it.
Didn't label it. He was really shy, and I was kind of shy because I didn't want to be rejected, but he did like me.
And you were 17, 18.
I was 17, 18.
Situationships can hit anyone.
Honestly.
At any time.
I came out pretty unscathed. I think we were still friends. It was
good.
kind of like, we'll friend out.
The way I would have made the biggest victim card out of that.
But I think it was because it was the end of senior year where you didn't care about anything.
Yeah.
Like truly it was like you didn't care about anything. I'm going to college in 2 months where I'm going to meet somebody new and cool anyway.
Yeah.
So I kind of was like,
Yeah,
it'll be all right.
That's interesting. Still a weird liminal space. I was so nostalgic and sad that like last summer it was so awesome, but it was also like I was crying every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was just so geeked to go to college. I think I was just so excited that I did have a fun summer. And I was like, now I get to like reinvent myself. I was just so excited to like
do something new.
Do it different.
Yeah.
You know, going to like an arts college, I was like, oh, it's all going to be, this is going to be my year.
Right.
And it was.
I think for me, it was like as I've recounted, I sort of peaked in high school a little bit.
Turtle backpack.
Turtle backpack, 2 CDs superlatives, had a dream. And I did a lot of theater and I was really awesome at it.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I was really sad, is because I was like, oh my God, like this was so, I like took this environment and made it my own. And I was really nervous that I wasn't going to do it again. But reader, I did it again.
Yeah.
I made college.
Some things don't change.
Yeah. I just walked in. I walked into any space.
I said, let's go. Set this up for me. Set that up. I don't know that you'll know this because it is Galveston, but you have a beach house there.
I did have a beach house there where I slang that straight tequila.
So you're always there.
That beach raised me. It's like my home. Yeah,
I came back
what's
a
the
different
story?
person than when I went in. How I research people's towns is usually I will do the Woodlands, Texas arrests. And that's how I'll be like, oh, is there any interesting one? Whew, the Woodlands, they be arresting these people.
That's why I chose a story that centered me in the story.
Is your town, I mean, we'll only just gently touch upon this. Is the Woodlands pretty like...
I'm sitting here in silence waiting.
I guess because it's such a big city, there's like a good amount of gossip, I guess is what I'm asking. Like shady things happen.
There's like some shady stuff that happens there.
But that's like, I guess, a big city. That makes sense. It's like a big town.
Yeah. It's like, it's one of the Woodlands is weird in that it was like, there was a lot of people who lived there, but it wasn't necessarily part of Houston. It was its own thing. And there was a lot of people and it was a very like upper middle class town that like a lot of rich people moved in and out of and stuff. And so it was just like teeming with people all the time. There was lots of drama. There was so much stuff that we could not talk about, and that's why it was hard to find something. I
will say like 9 out of 10 of the things that ended in arrest were Woodland Mall. Woodland Mall there's a lot that goes down at the Woodland Mall.
And by the way, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
At y'all's malls, did y'all have cops riding around on horses?
Sorry, indoors?
Outdoors in the parking lot. They would not bring the horses indoors.
You say mall, I go, what, in Sears you got a horse there?
No, it's like, so the thing about like the Woodlands Mall is that it's like, I view it so as like the cornucopia in the Hunger Games arena. Like there's like hills going up to it, and it's like this big building that like everyone is just sort of trying to get to. And by the way, all around it, we just got cops on horses.
Wow.
Yeah. And
no, we didn't have any horse cops in the parking lot.
Is that it? Are there other places that have horse cops?
Boston had horse cops.
Horse cops? Okay, thank God. I really
Boston
was going
did have horse cops, and LA has one horse cop, I think.
Yeah.
He might not even be a cop.
He's just a guy
who arrested me.
A guy with a horse and a dream.
There was in LA, for my going away party before I came here, 2 guys with horses passed the bar, and this is like, we're in a city. Horses don't pass bars a lot in LA. And, we're like, oh my God. And so a whole crowd exits the bar and they're like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, feel free. Anyone to pop on and ride. And I was like, okay.
Get me and on there.
I'm wearing a short skirt. Whoops. Showing my whole absolute cooch. Getting up onto this horse.
Of course.
And he's just leading the horse around. And I'm like, I think I'm scared, actually. I should get off of this. It's midnight.
Yeah, LA.
Yeah, in LA. And I was like, I was trying to give him money because I was like, thank you so much. This is fun. Thank you for the horse ride. And he's like, no, I don't want any horse. I don't want any money. And I'm like, so this is just for kindness? You're just bringing your horse around?
His horse was probably getting like really rowdy and needed some people to like pay attention to him.
I was starting to feel, I don't think horses like that.
No, you don't think people like them?
I don't think horses like crowds of people.
Right. That's
generally.
True. That's what the Kentucky Derby is fucked up.
Yeah. But that was just kind of midnight horse ride. That was my first time riding a horse, and I realized it as I was on there. I was like, wait a second, I think I'm scared.
Yeah, no, there are horses walking around the Woodlands Mall in the parking lot. It's so
seemed
random.
Like there was a lot of arrests, so they're doing their job.
The Woodlands is really known for their mall. People travel it. I went to college, and even sometimes here in New York, where people would know the Woodlands, and they'd be like, I love your mall. It was a big mall.
Wow. Favorite store in the mall?
GameStop. I was a gamer in high school.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then also the Barnes & Noble. The P of Chang's and the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
There was a day where in middle school, Taylor Lautner, during the Twilight era, it was like New Moon had just been released. Taylor Lautner was at our Cheesecake Factory, and it was
just eating.
It was the talk of the town for 2 days.
Why was he in Woodland?
I don't know. I'm telling you, the mall in the Woodlands is powerful.
Wow. Yeah. Celebrities would be lucky to be there.
Yeah.
Wow.
The mall that raised me.
The beach, the mall.
The beach, the mall, the streets. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is just like light urban legend. So instead of arrests, I decided to type urban legends. I said maybe something
I'm so intrigued.
a little less arresting. So in Galveston, I guess the college that's there, which is
A&M?
UTMB.
Meridian Basin or something? Yeah.
They have a water spot on their concrete wall. And you're saying, what's the news?
A water spot?
So it's like the concrete is like stained weird. And it looks very, very much like a ghostly face, like a scary ghostly face.
Wait.
And so people were like, ooh, that looks kind of weird. Let's power wash that off. Like it looks odd. Let's power wash it. They power wash it. The next day, it's on a different brick, same face.
What?
Yeah. The Galveston, like, there's a ghost face that's on a different brick. It's a 1 brick down, like a big concrete brick down. And they're like, what? Okay, that's weird. Let's power wash it again. Like, let's scrub.
Oh my God, no.
It pops up in 3 bricks over. And
Ghosts
it looks just like a face.
Ghosts are real.
Yeah. And so then they were like, we can't keep doing, and this was their justification from the college, because people were like, can you get rid of this? This is like really freaky. And the college was like, we are not going to keep doing this because we are worried it will transfer to the brick underneath and go inside. They said, we're worried it's going to go.
It's going to go inside the school.
They literally said, they were like, it's because it's above the door now. And they said, we're worried it's going to pop right under the door and inside.
It became a horror movie. And they were being really smart about it.
And I love that the college administration, because, you know, they're academics, you'd hope. And they got a logical sense.
Yeah.
They said, no, we're worried. We're going to power wash it indoors.
It's one guy on the team being like, you guys, it's going to get inside the school if we keep doing it.
It's going to move indoors. And scary. We'll put a little pic for the listeners.
To see this. Is it like a scary image?
I mean, it is remarkably face. You're like, you know, you have some people are like, oh, Jesus was on my bread. And you look and you're like, it doesn't look like Jesus. This one, it's like, you look and you're like, that's a face. Yeah.
Do you think it's like could it possibly be like a Banksy of UTMB, like putting art up?
Somebody's just doing it.
Do you think it could be that? Not that I'm trying to debunk ghosts, because I love ghosts.
That's interesting. I kind of didn't think about it, but
you believed in the magic.
I didn't think. It's not my strong suit. I look and I listen. I turn it off.
And I yap.
And I yap about it.
Yeah.
So that's the near your hometown drama.
That's the near my hometown drama, because we cannot touch the Woodlands with a 5-foot pole.
Those horse cops got it handled. I don't want to get in their way.
Some of those stories are a little too much.
Yeah.
No, the Woodlands is a silly town.
Silly town. Should we see what gossip is going on in other towns?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's see. Okay, this comes to us from London.
Oh my God.
Kentucky.
I was like, they think I'm British. Like,
I was like, let me see.
We go international.
Kentucky. This is London, Kentucky.
Wow.
Top of the morning to ya. London. Okay. This story takes place on Veterans Day at our school-wide assembly.
Okay.
I played saxophone in the school band, King, and the assembly took place.
King.
Fellow sax player.
Can we get
over
a
here?
picture on who this person is?
Lisa Simpson. Okay, I played saxophone in the school band, and the assembly took place in our school gym where we were set to perform. Our gym had 2 stories. It had the main floor, which consisted of the stage for the assembly, which is where myself and the rest of the band stood. We also had an upstairs balcony section with extra seating. The JROTC. Oh, yeah. Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. You had those?
I had that, yeah.
We're standing up on the balcony overlooking the rest of the gym. Of course.
Oh, my God.
Put them to work. My tax dollars paying for that. All right. I was watching the assembly when I felt a tap on my shoulder. One of my fellow bandmates points up to the balcony and tells me to take a look. When I looked up to see what was going on, I couldn't believe my eyes. 2 of the JROTC members standing up there were actively jerking each other off in front of the entire school and members of the town. Couldn't have predicted that.
Did y'all pick a gay story because I was on? Because that's awesome.
Could not have predicted that.
I literally thought you had to say the balcony collapsed.
I thought one of them jumped or something.
Yeah.
They were jerking each other off.
Oh my God.
In front of the entire school and members of the town. We were all shocked and horrified with a pinch of, this is the craziest thing to ever happen in our school. Yeah.
Well, yes.
I would hope.
I would hope so.
They got outed to their parents by the school after that. Oof. It's been a while, but I think they're okay now.
They got that. That's what caused them to get outed. Well, it's like, well, I think you're going to get outed when you jerk each other off.
Not to victim blame. Wait. Nobody should get outed, but I think if you wanted to keep it a little more undercover, you should.
That is so
actively
funny.
Jerking each other off.
The way you're saying that, jerking each other off. Interesting. They were just two gay guys who were so horny that they couldn't hold it in.
This sure changed the meaning of support our troops at school, and the vibe of Veterans Day assembly was never the same, to say the least.
Well, actually, okay, you know what?
I did forget it was Veterans Day.
It was, literally.
Which you're allowed.
And the people who were like sort of serving in the military.
And they're serving.
And they were gay guys at the end of the day. Wow.
But it's like your JROTC. You haven't even gone into your training yet.
Yeah. Don't ask, don't tell.
That's one of the things you haven't been taught yet.
I'm so intrigued. Were they dating each other? Like, were they just like friends? What was it like?
Why then? You had to do it then?
There's so much more to this story that is not being told.
I wish I could hear their perspective. Where it was like, no, there's something about Veterans Day that got us going.
I really wish I could sit down with those 2 boys and be like, hey, kings.
Explain Explain it.
I'm like, I know exactly what you mean.
We all been there.
But
of
what
course.
happened?
We've all wanted to, but we didn't. So what happened?
I'm like, I love an audience too. I love an audience, but why none?
It had to be in front of the school on the balcony.
The thrill of it, the theatrics of it all.
Man, that's an interesting one. That's a scratcher.
And that's all we got. There's no more to it.
I kind of want it to be like, I want a little Where Are They Now?
I want more Where Are They Now?
Because I hate to, I mean, I guess if they were outed.
They were outed, so they were obviously too afraid to come out to their parents.
But I couldn't tell if that meant they were outed as being gay or if they were outed for doing that. I think outed for being gay.
Outed for being I'm like, honey, they did what they did.
Yeah. Man.
That's so interesting.
That is interesting because there is a world where it's like, and now they're married with kids and it all is fine. Or there's a world where it's like,
they never speak. They never saw each other again.
And they have women wives.
They're forbidden love.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I hope not.
They really came out of the closet.
Yeah. Do you think they finished? That's something to ask,
Something to ask at the end of the day. I hope so.
I mean, they're 18. You're virile. You're finishing for nothing.
I bet they kind of did ultimately because I'm sure they were so like excited to do it. Sorry about that, by the way. Really
we
sorry
can cut
about
that if you want.
So keep it in. I'm an artist. At the end of the day. Loop that one. Let's make it again.
It's gonna be a loop. Wow.
What a beautiful story. And thank you so much for bringing a anonymous gay story to my episode. It really sticks out in my head.
I didn't pick it, but I really like what we got.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't pick that.
You wouldn't pick a gay story. Interesting.
I amplify all voices.
Except for women and gay guys.
Except for women and gay guys.
Who are ultimately here today.
Yeah, I don't really like those guys. Wow. That's an interesting one. That is so not what I thought. I truly thought, the balcony broke. I really thought
it was going to be a tragic. Normally, you don't really talk about violence on this podcast.
No, but I was like, they changed it today. Today we're getting.
I'm like, can we redo my episode then? Because I have a lot to say.
An entire troop died.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Do you think they would still get a Purple Heart if they all died?
Yes, I do think that.
Thank you.
I think they would get, if not, they would get something. Because that would be such a tragic event to happen.
Get something. Wow.
But it ultimately didn't happen. It was just gay guys having fun.
You're horny as a teen.
Oh my God. Don't get me started.
My God. We did have this section in our school called the airlock, and it was a literal airlock, which is, I guess, like there was technically a area of grass, but you weren't allowed to go in it. And I guess for maybe fire or something, there's an airlock, so that way if something caught on fire, you would shut both those doors and like vacuum out the air. Yeah. Truly weird. I don't know.
God, you would just go in a laboratory.
They did a lot of these like updates to the school that we were like, huh? What are you planning?
Yeah.
It's weird
the
vibes.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, it was like, okay. So like you could technically go in there and like avoid an outbreak or a school shooting or a fire. I don't know.
Interesting.
But it was completely unmanned. Nobody was looking at it. So if you wanted to get an OTPHJ with the fancy hand up, you'd go to the airlock.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know.
I don't want to assume.
In the airlock.
The airlock was like pretty unregulated. And so there was like a hookup corner of our school.
I'm just imagining teens being like, yo, I got my back blown out in the airlock yesterday, bro. Like,
they accidentally turned the oxygen off. You're like,
that's a Final Destination movie. Yeah. That's crazy.
Lust got the best of them.
Never. Be careful what you wish for. No, we had a couch in the. There was a couch in the tech booth in the theater.
Oh, the tech booth was where.
That's where I was like, everyone kept being like, don't sit on that couch. And I would be like, I am me, a complete virgin in high school. I'd be like, what are we doing in here? What are y'all doing?
We have to go.
You guys, we have to do Into the Woods.
Can we take it seriously, please, guys? Yeah, no, techies were also horny.
Yeah,
band kids, horny. Tech kids, horny.
Theater kids were, if there was the occasional straight guy in there, theater kids were horny.
But it was like there were so few and far between. It was kind of the straight guy got a girlfriend really fast, I felt.
Yeah.
And they were horny, but it was like not like he was being passed around, I thought.
We had one guy who was like kind of getting around, and it was always like whoever he was dating or whoever he had like a stage kiss with in production.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So
of course.
that happened a lot where it was like if they had a stage kiss.
You have to date in real life.
Yeah. There was one, this is after I graduated, but there was one, they did a production of Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
And the two people who played Romeo and Juliet, this is so cute. They dated each other, and one of them is like a musician, and his like first like single that he ever dropped was called Romeo and Juliet. And he's like a pretty popular viral artist and stuff. And so I listen to that and I'm always like, oh, it's like really about this time that they were cast as Romeo and Juliet. They're not still
together.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Love never lasts.
No.
Ooh.
Wow. Did you ever have a stage kiss?
I had one stage kiss and one on-screen kiss in college, and both were gay.
Yeah.
I'm like, reader, every character I play, gay.
We're gonna have to. Yeah. I think my first one, it was you feel so cool to have a stage kiss. I feel like you were just like, well, it's just the craft. It's just the craft. It doesn't mean anything.
Every time I had one, I would be like I'm so crazy that I'm like, my stage kiss or my on-screen kiss, I was like, so we're dating now.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
we're in love, and you're so obsessed with me.
Should we practice again?
Yeah.
Should we practice again?
Let's keep going.
I don't know if it's real enough. Should we practice again?
Yeah. There was the one on-screen kiss I did. There was a time, it was for this like short film.
Yeah.
And it was with this guy who I had such a crush on.
Yeah.
But then there was one take where the director literally was like, okay, just kiss and then we'll tell you all when to cut. And so we literally kissed for, I'm going to say it, like 2 to 3 minutes.
You slipped the director 20. You're like, keep it coming.
Can you slam
Delete
that footage?
the footage. Delete it. Let's go again.
But I remember at the time being like so nervous, but also like, now why do they need that much kissing?
Yeah. Was love in the air? Did you date that person?
No, I didn't date that person.
That's fine.
No, it really was fine. I really assumed that anyone who got to kiss me would fall in love with me. But
so I'm working through that.
Rita, I'm most friendly in high school. No, I'm good.
I'm just a friend, huh? Okay, here is where we're going to go now. We're going back to Woodlands.
Guys, we've been really all over the place.
We have bopped around this country.
Yeah.
London.
That made me think of Paris, Texas.
Yes,
I'm like, we need to stop doing that.
Yeah, come on. We're going back to Woodlands, and I want to know, if I'm hitting Woodlands for the weekend of my life, I want to see the best Woodlands has to offer. What are the hometown highs?
Hometown highs. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, Queen, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The mall.
Yeah.
You will be hitting the mall. You will be shopping.
Okay.
Absolutely. You will be looking at the horse cops and wondering sort of why they're there and what they're doing.
Too many of them.
Too many of them. There was a lot of them. I swear to God.
Although, based on the amount of arrests, more even.
Yeah,
More.
Honestly.
For what they're doing there.
Yeah. If you wanted to go to more chic boutiques / like things that the mall couldn't offer, there was Market Street directly across the street, which was like a big like town square. I performed in that town square in my production of Into the Woods, which was kind of awesome. But there was like boutiques. There was a movie theater at the time, but not anymore in that town square. That's where you can go. There's a lot of restaurants. There's like, did y'all have Tommy Bahama's?
I know of it. Yeah, in LA.
Yeah, it was like the like clothing store and also a restaurant. So random.
Yeah, you're right.
It was random.
That is weird.
It was considered the most chic thing ever. There was Grotto.
I mean, because those shirts are weirdly expensive for being kind of ugly Hawaiian shirts.
Period.
They're kind of expensive.
Thank you for saying that. So yeah, you can do more shopping there. You can shop at the mall. You can go see a movie at Tinseltown Cinemark Theater where I saw all my movies. You can go to, where else can you go? Oh, you can go to Kirby Ice House.
Okay.
Which has the longest bar in the United States. It goes all around the bar. And the Woodlands.
Is it impressive to look at?
It's one of those things where I'm kind of like, what do you mean? Because it's just kind of like winding around the whole bar, and it feels like there are breaks in it. You're like, to where I'm like, now, this can't be true.
Yeah.
But if you go to the Woodlands and you were inside that bar, there will at least be 5 people who are like, the longest bar in the United States.
Yeah. Okay, now this is hometown lows. This is like, hey, we only have so much time in the Woodlands. Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Don't go there. Yeah, don't go there. Don't go there.
Who let you in there?
I would say, if you're gonna go between, because there's the PF Chang's and the Cheesecake Factory, don't go to the PF Chang's.
No, Cheesecake Factory is really
good. Go to the Cheesecake Factory.
Really good.
Their interior is so much. There's so much more to offer there than the PF Chang's.
Yeah. What do you call the style of what Cheesecake Factory is doing? Sort of, if you could name it.
Sort of Renaissance, a romance era, Baroque, Gregorian,
jerking off.
Jerking off. Probably all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where to not go? I'm gonna be honest. There's like so much to offer in the Woodlands. I would say you can skip the churches. There are churches at the wazoo. You can skip them.
You've seen them. All.
You've seen them. Yeah. There are golf courses at the wazoo.
Yeah.
You can go look at those. You can skip them though. You don't have to play.
I don't want to. I don't love golf.
Really? I grew up playing golf.
Wait, you said this and you were good, weren't you?
I was almost going to go to it for college. Yeah. But then
that is such an exciting thing.
Yeah, something I didn't really talk about today.
You being good at golf and math is really...
I'm really breaking the glass ceiling for gay guys everywhere.
Thank you so much, Erik. Thank you for sharing your life and your love and your laughter with us.
Of course. I do what I can in this town.
Yeah.
I do. I'm the clown.
Vote for him for best.
Vote for class clown of Brooklyn.
Town Gossip's Class Clown 2025. Erik, where can everybody find you online?
On Instagram, you can find me at Erik Martini. That's Erik with a K and Martini. And on TikTok, I've made it a little harder. You can find me at Erik Ooey. It's kind of like Ratatouille, but instead of rat, it's Erik with a K, Ooey.
And that's just the sort of easy.
And that's just sort of my brand that I'm building in this town we call New York City.
Yes. Thank you so much, Erik, and thank you for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to this episode of Town Gossip. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Town Gossip Podcast and TikTok at Town Gossip. And if you have any town gossip from your hometown, email us at towngossippodcast@gmail.com for a chance to be featured.